Hey yogis, let's see. Welcome. How's everybody doing? So good to be back with you today. Elizabeth Scally here. We're going to do a beautiful yoga practice in sweet Mother Nature just outside of our Living Sublimely Well yoga studio. So if you'd like to be here in person, we certainly would welcome you. We have group classes, small group classes. We keep it to 6 people or less in Whitehall, Maryland. Practicing qigong, yoga, breathing exercises, meditation. So we have weekday classes, weekday evenings, occasional Saturday here and there. And yeah, we are here. We're ready to go. So we are going to be all over our yoga mat. So find your mat. If you need yoga blocks to assist you, that would be helpful. For support in either seated, kneeling, standing postures, even lying down. We are going to take our seat today, our cross-legged seat on our mats. If you are under the care of a medical professional, if you have restrictions physically placed upon you from a healthcare provider, please honor those. I am not your healthcare provider, and I can't see you through the screen, so honor your body, listen to its needs, do what's best for you. I think I'm going to make the screen a little bit tighter. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. There we go. And I think I went too far. All right. So hopefully that helps you with the view. Yeah, closer. Okay. So as I was saying, honor your body, listen to its needs. Yoga is a new beginning. Each time we are blessed with the opportunity to come to our yoga mat, we come with a beginner's mind, without judgment, without critic, and without comparison. You know, we may be able to do a certain stretch one week and the next week it's unavailable to us. Alternatively, we may have not been able to do something and then joyfully we say, wow, I can do that today. So come to your yoga mat with the beginner's mind. And that being said, let's take our cross-legged seat. I do use a yoga block underneath. And the reason being is when we come to a cross-legged seat, I'm going to show you. If we're not open yet and we're tight in the hips, our knees will be really high. The hips will start to ache because of the holding up of the knees. The back will start to round and we'll lose our posture. Okay, so take your yoga block, place it just beneath your sits bones. Allow the knees to open to the sides. Allow the hips to rest. And then allow the posture to become erect. So the crown of the head is pulling towards the sky. The sits bones are pulling in that opposite direction, grounding into the surface beneath you. You can even pull the flesh away from the sits bones. We have arrived. So let's just take a gentle breathing exercise to begin. You can rest your eyes if you're comfortable and feel safe to do so. Breathing in and out of the nose if that is available to you in today's practice. And just noticing the breath in its natural rhythm. Notice the depth. Is the breath shallow or deep into the belly? Notice the length. Are the inhales longer than the exhales? Similar or different? Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Tuck that chin ever so slightly so the crown of the head pulls to the sky. And let's go ahead with a breathing exercise called the 4 square breath. So it's just as it sounds. We will inhale to the count of 4, hold the breath to the count of 4, exhale for 4, pause at the bottom for 4, and then repeat. I'll cue us for a few rounds, and then I'll trail off to silence, letting you practice on your own. Breathing in and out of the nose. Here we go. So inhaling, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Continue on your own. So leaving the 4-part breath, 4 square breath, returning to your natural breathing. Notice the mind, scan the body, observe any effects. For the warm-up, you can keep the eyes closed if that's your preference, or you can blink them open. Again, yogi's choice. Let's inhale the shoulders up towards the ears and exhale, sliding them down the back. Inhaling shoulders up, exhaling down. Linking the breath with the body. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Go ahead and take those shoulder rolls in the opposite direction, inhaling up and forwards, exhaling down and back. Inhaling up and forwards, exhaling down and back. Great job, yogis. One more full circle before meeting me back in neutral spine. Let's go ahead and bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Dip the head down to the chest and inhale left ear to left shoulder. Exhaling, dipping chin to chest. Inhaling the right ear to the right shoulder. Exhaling down. Inhaling lift. Exhaling lower. Just making half circles. Inhale raises the head. Exhale dips down through the chest. Just warming up the neck. Loosening the shoulders, upper back. Take in one more time each direction. And then lifting the head to a neutral spine. Excellent, yogis. Great job. So let's go ahead and remove the block if you are using one and take a lateral side to side stretch. So inhaling the left arm up, exhaling over, leaning to the right side, opening through the left rib cage, left side body, deeply breathing here. And inhaling that arm back to center, exhaling a lower, switching side. Inhaling the right arm up, exhale, lowering to the left. Pausing here, deeply breathing, opening, lifting through the chest. Breathing into that right side body, expanding the right rib cage. And one more time each direction. Inhaling the arm up, exhaling over to the right. Again, leaving the chest open and lifted. So gazing up at the inner elbow. Careful not to compromise the back by closing, opening, and lifting. Inhaling that arm up and exhaling, switching sides. Deep breaths into the side body, gazing up at the inner elbow, stretching through the rib cage. Beautiful work, yogis. Inhaling up and exhaling lower. Let's move into our Sufi grind, so dipping the shoulders forwards, out to the sides, arching the back. So big circles at the waist, loosening the whole spine, waking up the back. Oh, wonderful. It's amazing to stretch and breathe. And reverse those circles going the opposite direction. All of the beautiful Mother Nature is catching my eye. All right, coming to stillness at the center. Let's swing our legs around. We'll come to tabletop pose on hands and knees. If you're on a hard surface or you need something beneath your knees, go ahead and find that support now. The backs of the feet, the tops of the feet are on the mat. The knees are under the hips, so the legs are hip width distance apart. The wrists are under the elbows, elbows under shoulders, so the arms are shoulder width apart, and the fingers are spread wide. You're gazing down between the palms. Starting here with a neutral spine, this is tabletop pose. We'll move through cat-cow, linking the breath with the body. So inhaling, lifting the tail, arching the low back, dropping the shoulders and gazing up. And then exhale, tucking the tail, bring the belly button towards the spine, rounding the back, dropping chin to chest. Inhaling, originating the movement at the hips, lifting the pelvis, arching the back, raising the head. Exhale, tuck the tail, round the back, bring the chin to the chest. Inhale into cow, and exhale into cat. So linking the breath with your movement, you may go faster than I am, you may go slower, you may be at the same pace. It doesn't much matter as long as you're linking your movements with your breath. Beautiful, yogis. Lovely. Meeting me back at tabletop with a neutral spine, so gazing between your palms. Let's open the knees, hip width, mat width distance apart. Bring the big toes touching behind you. Send your hips towards the heels. And then stretch your arms overhead, bringing your forehead to the mat, to a block, or to stacking your fists. I notice I need to use the block because of my hat here today. It's kind of bright out. Breathing here in child's pose, elongating through the spine. And let's lift back up to tabletop. From here, bring the left hand underneath the face, and then inhale the right arm up and behind you, gazing up at the hand. Exhale, bringing the arm through the hole that's created by the left arm and the mat. Resting on the outside of the right shoulder, on the right cheek. Breathing here in thread the needle. Stretching across the upper back, shoulders, and the outer shoulders. Keep on breathing into the stretch. Beautiful. Inhaling that right arm up and behind, and then exhaling it down. Right hand comes right beneath the face. Left arm reaches up and behind, and left arm threads through that hole created by the right arm in the mat. Resting on the outside of the left shoulder, on the left cheek, the left side of the head. Breathing here across the back, sending the breath to where you feel the stretch in the physical body. Excellent. Inhaling that arm up and exhaling down. From here, opening those hands back to shoulder width distance. And let's bring the right foot right between the hands. So the right foot is between those wide open fingers. Spread palm. The ankle is under the knee. And then bring the hands to your hips, lifting up. Great job. And then press that left hip forward. Draw the right hip back, leaning into that left hip there. And if you like, you can raise the arms and gaze between the palms. Relax the shoulders, down the back. Slight arch in the low back if you choose, that's your preference. And let's bring the hands back to the hips. And from here, you can find your yoga blocks if you need stability. Bring them on either side of the body. And then start pressing the hips back towards that left heel. Raise those front toes, straighten that right leg, and then bringing the nose towards the knee. Here in half split. Stretching here, breathing into the back of that leg. You're doing excellent, yogis. Great job. All right, inhale, lifting that right knee, dropping those right toes, and then switching sides, sending that right foot back to meet the left, and bringing that left foot between our palms, between our hands. Just make sure your left ankle is underneath the left knee. When you're situated, bringing those hands to your hips, drawing that right hip forward, really pressing into the right hip as the left hip draws back. So the hips are square to that short side of the mat. If you feel comfortable to do so, raising the arms, gazing between the palms, relax those shoulders down the back. Breathing here. Excellent. Wonderful, yogis. Bring our hands back to our hips, finding your blocks if you need that support for stability, shifting your weight out of that front foot, lifting those left toes. Send the hips towards the right heel, straighten that left leg, and gaze down at your mat. Resting the chest across the thigh, Attempting to get the nose towards the knee. Breathing here. Excellent stretching. Beautiful. Lifting back up. Great job, yogis. Let's go ahead and bring that left foot back to meet the right. One more time here, opening the knees mat width distance apart, bringing the big toes to touch, and then hips towards the heels, letting those arms stretch over wide, overhead. Elongate through the spine, big breaths into the back and side body. And inhale, lifting back up to tabletop. From here, we're going to tuck our toes and then send our hips towards our heels, stretching through the bottoms of our feet. You can stay here with the hands down on the mat if it's already intense, or walk the hands towards the thighs, lifting the torso up. Just finding that placement. Again, honor your body, listen to its needs. If you're already feeling the stretch, as I said, you can keep your hands down on the mat. Beautiful. From here, let's bring our hands to the mat and then bring our heels to the mat. So standing onto the feet, walking the feet towards the hands, finding ourselves in forward fold. So the feet are hip width distance apart. Our hands can either be resting on the mat, on our ankles, on our shins, or even grabbing opposite elbows in the hands. Relax the crown of the head. Let the crown of the head pull towards the mat. Release any tension out of the shoulders and neck. Let that head hang heavy. Breathing here. Deep breaths into the back body. And from here, bring your hands to our ankles, to our shins, and walking the hands up the legs as we slowly round up through the spine. And the last thing to lift is the head, coming to standing. All right, yogis, now my head's cut off. Let me fix the video real quick. So get a sip of water if you need water. Let's see. Get a little more space. Okay. Oh, the joys of technology. All right, hopefully my head's not cut off. So we find ourselves standing. We're going to do a couple warrior postures before we move to lying down. So let's come to the tops of the mat, your feet close to the short side of the mat. Feet are hip width distance apart, slight bends in our knees. Tuck the tail, relax the hands at the sides, palms facing forward. Relax the shoulders, lift the crown of the head, standing sturdy and strong in mountain pose. Excellent. All right, from here, inhale the palms out and up overhead, gazing up. Exhale, swan dive, lead with the chest, flat back into a forward fold. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, lift the shoulders, flat back. Exhale, back down to forward fold. From here, step the left leg back and finding that balance, framing the hands with the right foot in the center. When you're ready, lifting the hands to the hips. The right ankle is under the right knee. The left heel is actually dropped to the mat. All of the toes are facing the short side of the mat, and the hips are square to the short side of the mat. We find ourselves in a variation of Warrior One, lifting the arms, gazing between the palms. Relax the shoulders, breathing here. Let's bring our hands to our hips. Lift that left heel and turn it in. so that the right heel is drawing a straight line to the left instep. Square your hips now to the long side of the mat and lift the arms, gazing over the right fingertips. Warrior two. Relax the shoulders, lift through the chest, tucking the tail, lifting the thighs. The feet are plugged into the mat. Beautiful. Breathing here, yogis. Wonderful work. Let's bring our right forearm to our right thigh. Swing that left arm across in front of the body and up, gazing up at the left inner elbow into extended side angle. Now your left arm is straight. I just can't straighten my arm today. So you have a straight line from the left fingertips all the way to the outside of the left foot. And breathe here. Drop that left arm, swinging it in front of the body again, lifting the arms back to warrior two. And from here, take that left hand to the outside of the left thigh, raising the right hand to the sky. Drop the left shoulder, lift through the right side body. Peaceful warrior. Breathing in the beauty of the posture. Let's drop our hands back to warrior two one last time. Straighten that right knee, but careful not to lock it. Stretch through the right fingertips as if you're sliding across the table. And when you cannot reach any further, dip the right hand to the right shin. Raise that left hand towards the sky, finding stacked shoulders, stacked hips, triangle pose. You can either gaze up at the left hand or straight ahead. Inhale, lifting the torso back up, taking the hands to the hips, turning those right toes inwards, finding your block if you need it. So the toes are pigeon-toed, the heels are wider than the toes. Lift through the chest, and with a flat back, hinge at your hips, tilting forward. And when you can't bend with a flat back any further, rounding through the spine, bringing your hands to the block, to your mat, or grabbing opposite elbows. Breathing here deeply into the backs of the legs and across the back body. Send the breath to where you feel the physical sensation, where you feel the stretch. Wonderful job, yogis. And wherever your hand placement is, slightly bending through the knees, bringing the hands to the legs, and as before, walking the hands up the legs as we roll back up to standing. Heel toe your way back to center, and we'll do the whole sequence on the other side. If you need a sip of water, grab that. Otherwise, coming to the short side of your mat as we did before. So feet are about hip-width distance apart, slight bend in those knees, tucking the tail, relaxing the arms to the side, dropping those shoulder blades, lifting through the crown of the head. Breathing here, mountain pose. Inhaling the hands up overhead. Exhale, swan dive, lead with the chest, forward fold. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins, lift up to a flat back. Exhaling to forward fold. This time, frame the hands around the left foot and step the right foot back. Again, with that right heel down. When you find your balance and you've accessed your ability to stand up, bring your hands to your hips so that left knee is over the left ankle. All of the toes are facing the short side of the mat. Lifting the arms, slight arch in that low back if you like. Relax the shoulders and gaze between your hands. Breathing here in warrior one. And bring those hands back to the hips. Turn that right heel inwards. If you need to widen your stance, just find that stance that works for you today. The left heel is drawing a line to that right instep. The hips are now to the long side of the mat, and raise our arms to warrior two. Both arms are lengthened. You're gazing over those left fingertips. Relax the shoulders, lift through the chest, tuck the tail, and breathing here. Let's bring our left forearm to our left thigh. Drop the right arm down and across the body, lifting up, gazing at that right inner elbow. Line of energy from the right fingertips all the way down to the outside of the right foot. And breathe. Dropping the left hand down and across the body, lifting back up to warrior two. And then the right hand comes to the outside of the right thigh as the left hand reaches towards the sky, gazing up at their left fingertips. Relax that right shoulder down the back. Peaceful warrior. Breathing in the beauty of the stance. Relaxing our arms to warrior two, straightening that left knee, careful not to lock it, sliding those left fingertips down across the table, reach, reach, reach. And when you can't reach any further, bringing the left hand to the left shin. The right hand reaches towards the sky in triangle pose. Lifting through the torso, dropping that right hand, coming to center, hands to hips, turning the left toes inwards, pigeon-toed. Lift through the chest with a flat back, hinging forward. And when you can't hinge any further, rounding down. Let the crown of the head hang heavy. Release any tension out of the neck. Relax your hands to the mat or your block, or even grabbing opposite elbows. Breathe into the backs of the legs. Send the breath across the back body. Deep breaths here. We're letting any tension just slide out of the head, out of the shoulders, onto the mat. As before, bend those knees, bring the hands to the shins, and slowly start walking the hands up the legs, rounding up through the spine. The last thing to lift is the crown of the head, and then heel toe our feet to center. Wonderful, yogis. We're going to make our way down to the mat for some cool down before final relaxation. So go ahead and get yourself situated, lying down on your back on the mat. While you're doing that, I think I'm going to move that camera angle one last time, just so you can see the postures more clearly. Okay, sorry about that, friends. I'm trying to make the video, there we go, the video closer up, and I'm completely losing it. All right, now we're ready. Sorry about that, friends. Okay, by now you're all lying on your backs, safe and sound on your mats. Excellent. From here, let's actually bend both knees. I'm going to use my block just because of this hat situation. Perfect. See, blocks can help us every which way. All right, bend both our knees, the soles of the feet to the mat, and then actually lift your feet off the mat, hugging your arms either around your shins or your thighs. Just take a gentle rock, massaging the low back side to side. Bringing that gentle rock to stillness, coming back to a neutral spine. Let's drop both feet to the mat, keeping the knees bent. Let's lift the right foot in the air and bend the right knee, turning it out to the side, taking the outside of your right ankle onto that upper place of the left thigh below the knee. You can stay right here if this is intense and you're already feeling a stretch through your hips. If you'd like to take it a little further, take that left foot off the mat, thread the right arm through that hole created by the legs, and then clasp your hands behind the thigh. Flex through that right foot, keeping that right leg engaged, pulling that left thigh towards the chest. You can even take the right elbow and press it into the inner part of your right thigh if you'd like to deepen the stretch. And breathe into where you feel the body. Let's go ahead and release the hands. Let the left foot float back to the mat. Let's take the right thigh and place it on the left thigh so you're cross-legged. Press through the left foot, lifting your hips, and scooch onto the left hip, letting those knees drop towards the left side of your mat. Open the arms to a T, and you can even keep your head facing up towards the sky if you prefer. Take this hat. Or look towards your right fingertips. Yogi's choice here. If you like, you can take the left hand, place it on the outside of the right thigh, deepening through the twist. Just make sure the right shoulder stays glued to the mat. If your right shoulder is lifted, your knees are twisting too far. Breathing here. Bringing the belly button towards the spine, using your abdominal muscles. Lift the knees back up through center. Press into that left foot, lifting the hips, squaring back to a neutral spine. Let's lift the right foot in the air, uncrossing the legs, and then hug both knees to the chest as before, taking that gentle rock side to side. Massage the low back, massage the middle back, maybe even massage the upper back. Just see if you can kind of roll around in all different areas of the spine. And then bringing this rock to stillness, dropping both feet to the mat, leaving the knees bent. Let's lift the left foot into the air and then bend that left knee out to the side, taking the outer left ankle to the upper right thigh. Again, stay here if the stretch is intense, or to deepen and go further, lift that right foot off the mat, clasp the hands behind the thigh, and start pulling the right thigh towards the chest. Make sure that left foot is flexed so the toes are pointing upwards towards the sky. The heel is engaged, the whole leg is engaged. Relax the shoulders, release any tension out of the face and jaw. Send the breath to where you feel the stretch in the body. Releasing the hands, dropping that right foot back to the mat. Taking that left thigh and placing it on top of the right thigh so your legs are crossed. Press into the right foot, lifting those hips, scooching onto your right hip and letting the knees fall to the right side. Open the arms to the T. Gaze upwards or gaze over the left fingertips. Make sure the left shoulder is still pinned to the mat, in contact with the mat. If you'd like to further the stretch, take the right hand to the outside of that left thigh, just applying some gentle pressure, twisting just a little bit deeper. Using our core muscles, bringing the belly button towards the spine, lift the knees back up to center. Press into that right foot, lift the hips, square the back onto the mat. So the whole back is flat to the mat. Lift that left foot in the air, and one last time, hugging the knees to the chest, taking our gentle rock side to side. Coming to stillness, releasing the hands, let's bring the feet all the way up into the air. Point and flex through the toes. Make some circles at the ankles in one direction. Then taking those ankle circles the opposite way. Scissor kick the legs, open them wide, and then close one ankle in front of the other. Rotate back and forth, opening the legs, switching ankles. And finally, flutter kick the legs forwards and back, as if you were swimming in a pool. Point and flex those toes one last time and do anything else that the legs call for while raised up in the air, perhaps a little shake, a little shimmy. Beautiful. Gently and slowly bending at the knees and letting the feet come to the mat, preparing for Shavasana. Let's extend our feet all the way down. Legs are long, the full length of the mat. Let the pinky toes flop towards the lower corners of the mat, opening through the feet. Lift at the hips and just tuck the tail down. And similarly, lift at the chest to let the shoulders slide down the back. Let the arms open away from the body with the palms facing up, or if it's more comfortable, you can rest a hand on the belly, on the chest, hand placement, wherever you like, yogi's choice. Feel the mat making contact with the back body. Let the heels be heavy, the calves rest, the thighs sink to the mat. Let the glutes relax, the whole back body melts into the mat. Just notice that physical contact in all the areas of the back body. Resting, restoring, relaxing on the mat. Let the thoughts, the mind chatter be quiet just for a few moments as the physical body floats on the mat in final relaxation. Go ahead and begin to wiggle the toes, gently moving the fingertips, allowing these gentle movements to grow into the hands, into the wrists, into the arms, into the legs. Slowly waking up and reconnecting with the physical body. When you're ready, bending the knees and rolling over onto the right side of the body, cradling the head in the right arm. And just resting here for a moment, allowing the practice to settle, mind, body, and spirit. Repeating quietly in your mental mind, in your heart center, offering metta, loving kindness to yourself. May I be happy. May I feel healthy. May I experience peace. And may I let go, releasing unnecessary suffering. May I be happy. May I feel healthy. May I experience peace. May I let go, releasing unnecessary suffering. Pressing the hands into the mat, lifting the torso upright, coming to a seat of your choice. It has been a joy and honor to practice with you all. Thank you. Let's let our hands drop to our sides. Let's inhale our palms up overhead. Let's exhale the hands to heart center, all together, friends. The light in me honors the light in each and all and every one of you. As I said, thank you for sharing this healing experience of yoga practice with me today. And please enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste, friends. Well, yogis, as I said at the beginning of the class, or the practice, I should say, I'm speaking class because I'm here at the yoga studio. We do have small, intimate group classes, 6 people or less, weekdays in the morning, evenings, and occasionally a Saturday here or there. We are having a fun community event for all the current yoga students, and I can't wait to share some practice and potluck with them. So become part of our Living Sublimely Well yoga community. If you are in the state of Maryland and you live in the northern Baltimore County area, it's called the Hereford Zone, or Whitehall, Maryland, click the link in the comments section below and you can join us for yoga classes. And if you would love to share yoga privately with me and you can't make it to the studio here because you're across the country or around the world, I do offer individual client sessions. So again, that link will be in the comments. But thank you all for joining me. Thank you for your patience with my technology moving around, and we will see you the next time we practice. Take good care.